Peace and love, everybody. Thanks for being here. I sure appreciate it. We did have some trouble this morning on YouTube. This is called the mystic heart of Leviticus, loving the stranger as self. So welcome to our meditation time. This comes as a result of me thinking about what's going on in the world. So Leviticus 19:33, it might not be the first passage that comes to mind when we think about mysticism. Leviticus altogether might not be. But still, within this ancient law book lies this luminous truth that transcends tribal religion and speaks directly to our mystical hearts. When an alien resides with you in your land, you shall not oppress the alien. The stranger who resides with you shall be as the citizen among you. You shall love the stranger, the alien, as yourself, because you were aliens in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And this is more than just a humanitarian instruction. It's a spiritual revelation of radical unity. Beneath the social surface, it uncovers a core mystical teaching found in many contemplative traditions worldwide. The sacred exists in every being. You sense this, you see this for yourself. The light sees itself. And the love is the recognition of our shared divine essence. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Mystics across all sorts of traditions speak to the oneness of life. And it isn't just an abstract idea. It's a direct experience that this apparent separation between self and others, friend and stranger, insider and outsider, is an illusion. We talk about this in the Aramaic from Jesus. We talk about the no difference between the inward and the outward, within and among. And we see the same thing in Julian on Norwich. She says there is no between, no in between the divine and ourselves. It's all an illusion. And the Hebrew scripture here reflects this mystical insight. To love the alien as yourself is to see yourself in the stranger. The Upanishads, those mystical texts of ancient India, they reflect this truth in the phrase, familiar to many of us, Tat Tvan Asi, thou art that. And this signifies that the same divine essence within me is within you, within all of us. And Leviticus quietly affirms this as well. The stranger is not others. The stranger is kin, soul of my soul, light of my light, and in the image of the divine, just like us. Mystics like Julian of Norwich, Teresa of Avila, and Meister Eckhart saw the divine not only as beyond us, some kind of transcendent, yes, but also immanent, inside us, as close and as present to us as our own hearts. God isn't limited to some church or temple or mosque or some chosen group. There are no outsiders. We are only always insiders. The beloved, the light, exists inside of every person, just wanting and waiting to be noticed. And recognizing this changes this idea of morality into a spiritual practice, into an actual experience. When we greet the stranger, the other, the person we don't know, who's not like us, we also welcome the divine presence, the light, hidden inside the unfamiliar, that which is different from us. Because we're not actually different. We're actually the same. And Yeshua, Jesus, exemplifies this when he says, just as you did it to one of the least of these, you did it to me. And that's in Matthew. And he's probably quoting this Levitical text, this teaching. He's not replacing it, but revealing its deeper spiritual meaning. Mysticism, it's not about fleeing the world and withdrawing from everything, but it's about transforming it through love and action. And that's the whole point of heaven here on earth. We're not waiting for pie in the sky when we die. Oh, yes, I definitely am doing that. But it's here in the present life where the practice of it, where the presence of it is enables us to endure, gives us the strength and the power. And so this command to love the unfamiliar calls us to this radical vulnerability, dropping our defenses, our fears, our rigid identities. When we open to the outsider with compassion, we break down the illusion of separation and start to experience the divine wholeness. In mystical transformation and in spiritual awakening, love isn't a mere sentimentality. It's an inner fire, the prana that burns away attachment to the egoic self and awakens the soul to its true universal essence. The passage in Leviticus concludes with this powerful reminder: for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. And this is more than just this history lesson. It's a spiritual memory. The mystic doesn't ignore suffering, but uses it as a gateway to deeper understanding. Remembering our alienation, our personal alienation, our own exile, our own pain, fosters empathy, which in turn becomes the doorway into divine compassion. It humbles us, softens us, opens our eyes to the shared vulnerability that connects all beings, not just humans. And it's a troubling irony. And this is where I started thinking about this morning. It's a troubling irony that those who claim to interpret the Bible literally overlook this clear command. They ignore it. Why? Because it challenges tribalism, nationalism, authoritarianism, racism, homophobia, and fear and hate-based religion. It calls us to extend dignity, protection, and love to the outsider. And it's not as charity, but as a spiritual duty, as a divine mandate, as tat sam asi, thou art that. This passage poses a threat to closed systems, and that's why it's ignored. It reveals God's love extends beyond borders and can't be confined by ethnicity, religion, color, creed, or nation. Literalism, when used to justify exclusion and superiority, must suppress this verse because it undermines the foundation of us versus them. And it gives justification for not only for exclusion, but for oppression. In truth, Leviticus 19:33 to 34 is a mystic's verse spoken with the voice of a lawgiver. It's a whisper of the eternity echoing through these dusty pages of ancient scripture. Who reads Leviticus? Those who do read Leviticus, they choose the thing that they want. If it was actually listened to, nobody would be eating lobster or clams or wearing cotton poly. So they pick and they choose and they ignore. It calls us it's not just about calling us to good behavior, to be moralists, but it's for a change in perception. That's what this verse is about. It's a change in perception, to see the stranger not as a threat, but as a reflection of ourselves. To see the light inside myself is to see the light in another, to love them not out of tolerance. This is not about tolerance, but out of recognition. To become, in practice and presence, a mirror for the divine. Mysticism isn't just about transcendence, and in its immanence, it's about action in the world. It's about doing the hard thing, loving neighbor as self, no matter who the neighbor is. And that's difficult. It's difficult when the idea of religion isn't about love. It's difficult when the idea of religion becomes about authority, power, control, and hate. So thanks for being here with me this morning. If you just take a moment, I'm going to lead you into a little bit of meditation, and then we can practice on our own. So maybe close your eyes, take a deep breath, gently release it. Let your awareness settle into the space of your heart. Now bring to mind some other, a stranger, an outsider, someone unfamiliar who may be uncomfortable for you. Lightly hold their image in your awareness. Now hear the sacred whisper from these ancient texts. You shall love the stranger as yourself, for you were once a stranger. Breathe into that. Feel the truth behind those words. It's not an obligation, it's a recognition. See the face soften before you. See the shimmer of the light within them, even if they can't see it themselves. And ask, what if there is no other? What if the stranger is no different from you? What if to welcome the alien, the stranger, the enemy, is to welcome God? Let your hearts be open. Let judgment fall away. Let light lead. Let love rise as a sense of seeing. And now let's just meditate together.